Today I have an extremely special guest, Miss Tia Stokes.
Can I get a what?
Miss Tia Stokes. Millions of followers on IG and TikTok. Dancer.
Oh, I dance.
You
Yeah.
dance. I think you dance with Beyonce.
I
you
did.
have your own studio.
I do, yes.
Right?
When I was 21 years old, actually, I was being managed by Britney Spears' dad, Jamie Spears. When challenges came my way after that, I was able to navigate them in such a different way. We've got the opportunity to make the choice ourselves.
I beat cancer. You can overcome whatever challenge you have in your life.
That's where the hope comes in for people to see you now and be like, dang, like he was there and now he's doing this and now he's doing, holy crap, like I can do that. I want to be that too.
For people to be able to see the other side. We're all human.
The more positivity, the more energy and the more high vibes and energy that you bring, can you imagine what it's doing to your cells? What brings you joy? Whatever it is, do more of it. An advice I would give someone that's going through something hard is to be able to
Welcome to this episode of BeastvsZombie. Today I have an extremely special guest, Miss Tia Stokes.
Can I get a what?
Miss Tia Stokes, inspirational speaker, social media influencer. She's a business owner, mother, dancer. I think what you dance for Beyonce.
I did.
She's a dancer. She has her own dance studio. So super grateful and super happy to have her on the podcast today. Thank you so much for coming.
No,
today.
I'm excited. Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here.
Cool. So let's get right into it. The first question I want to ask you is, what advice would you give to anybody that's going through a challenge in their life?
Okay. Well, I love that question because I feel like that's something that I've had to really channel in my own personal journey. And I think an advice I would give someone that's going through something hard is to be able to find something that they're grateful for every single day. And actually, that was something that was given to me when I was pregnant with my first baby, Major. And I was about 8 months pregnant. And I remember feeling very, very lonely, very, very dark. I mean, at the time, prenatal depression wasn't talked about a whole lot. And I was experiencing that. And I remember feeling so dark and so lonely that I felt like the world would be better off without me. And I tried not to be here. And my husband actually gave me the challenge that day to grab an empty journal and just to write down 3 things that I was grateful for every single day. And I remember looking at him and being like, this is not going to help me. Like, I need to, like thinking, what the heck is this? But for me, I feel like that challenge every single day of just finding the things that I was grateful for every single day, whether it was I was just breathing, whether it was I got out of bed that day, whether it was I had food to eat on my table, or just anything I got to see with my eyes that day. It really helped me to be able to look at life. And when challenges came my way after that, I was able to navigate them in such a different way. And no matter what, and I feel like having that practice every single day, right? Even if just 3 things, easy peasy lemon squeezy, like 3 things really helped my mindset to be able to navigate hard things. So when opportunities, I call them opportunities, come, we're able to be able to work through them. And it gives us a better chance for me, it's like a better chance at fighting. Yes. Yeah.
I love that. Being grateful is super important.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
It's something I focus on in my life immensely, more and more every single day. And like you said, it's like a mindset change.
Oh yeah.
Right? All of a sudden, you start thinking, oh, I'm grateful for waking up today.
Oh my gosh.
Like every morning I wake up, I start my morning with gratitude. I sit there, I press snooze on my alarm.
Yeah, of course, everyone does.
It goes off at 4:30. I
Yeah.
press snooze on my alarm and I sit there, and for that like 9 minutes, I sit there and just like pray and be grateful for like random things.
Well, you know what's cool about gratitude? What I love to share with people is that it's an open portal to our Heavenly Father. And it gives us that clear that communication is free. That line is wireless, it's free. And as soon as we open that portal of gratitude, we are in constant prayer with him like all day long.
All day long.
We're allowing ourselves to be receptive and open and receive and give and led. And I think we forget that though. As adults and as people, we get so busy and we get just, caught up in, I have to do this, I have to do this, that we forget that just that little bit of time, right? Just that little bit of moment just to say, man, I'm grateful for my breath. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my friends that are, connecting with me. That it really does keep us open up to the possibilities and to be able to be led in a different way.
And to be able to like see life in a different way.
Oh my gosh.
Because all of a sudden you're like, I'm grateful for this, that, the other. And then you're, like you said, it's not a challenge anymore. Now it's opportunity.
It's an opportunity.
Now it's opportunity.
Opportunity.
Yes. And now now all these situations, everything that's happened, I always like to say, it's not good. It's not bad. It just is what it is. It's what happened.
It is. Yeah.
And I do believe like everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
I believe everything happens for a reason.
Truly.
And you just have to be able to look at it and find the lesson or the blessing in what's going on with you.
Yeah. And it's just like a little shift, that little perspective shift that changes. It's so funny. I was just 2 days ago, I was speaking to 200 teenagers and teaching this concept, to them. And just to see their minds, like, they're teenagers. So they're just like sitting like this, they're like not really paying attention to me. Right. And then by the end, they're like, yeah, opportunities. Yeah, like their mindset just shifted, and just to teach them that simple concept of gratitude. And I shared this quote with them, which I love so much, even for myself. It's, it's not happy people that are grateful. It's grateful people that are happy.
Yes.
Right? Like you meet somebody, you're like, wow, what is that like? But what is that? What do they have? They're just freaking grateful. Yes. And but such a tool that I think for me, even I forget to use sometimes.
Yes.
And so it's just that simple little shift that helps us to get through those hard things.
Right. And it's a choice. It's just a simple choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's easy.
It's not easy.
I'm not saying it's easy by any means. But I'm saying it is a simple choice that you can make every day. And it's legit your responsibility.
Yeah.
Right? People that are unhappy it's tough that they're choosing that.
Yes. Yeah.
And I always am trying to encourage people to like choose happiness, choose yourself, choose to be grateful.
Yeah.
Even though stuff is happening that you might not have expected.
No.
Right? We all feel bad. We all get emotions. We all feel frustrated. Yeah. Stuff happens.
Yeah.
And we're all human, right? And so that I totally understand feeling that way. And if you can just be in those situations and really like lean into it. Yeah. And feel grateful, like, okay, this happens, but like, like what people say, like, but did you die?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. No,
right?
It's true.
Like seriously, right? Like you can be grateful for so many things, like even just like the odds of being born.
Yes.
And
how awesome we get bodies to be able to be a vessel,
is completely insane.
Yeah.
And so if you can change and flip that perspective, and always feel good about everything that's happening. You see life in a different light. Yeah. And it tends to make your life, like you said, like it's a choice. It's happiness.
Well, it's funny. When I was in the hospital, that was something because I was admitted, it was during the pandemic at the beginning by myself. And so for me, that was something was like, okay, Tia, I had to like self-talk myself a lot, I only had myself. So I was like, all right, you got two options here. Like, you can either have miserable cancer and hide in this room, this dark, lonely, cold room by yourself and cry and be miserable, or you can choose to find the things to be grateful for. You can choose to dance, choose to be positive. But either way, homegirl Tia is going to have cancer right now.
Right. Yes.
Like that was the plan. Yes. And that was what was happening. It's not like I could have said, oh, wait, this isn't on my schedule right now.
There's nothing
and I think that's how life works. Right. And we thank the Lord, we've got the opportunity to make the choice ourselves. Mm-hmm. Nobody else to choose for us how we fight that battle. Mm-hmm. Nobody else. Just us. And for me, that gives me so much power. Like you think about that and you're like, oh my gosh, like I get to choose how I do this.
Right.
Not you for me, not me for you, but I get to do it for myself. Mm-hmm. And I think for me, that brings so much power behind the fight.
I think it's also super impactful, right? Like we got stuck with something that like, you never think you're going to get cancer until you get cancer.
Yeah.
Like I'm 19, I'm in college, I'm an athlete all my life. I'm super active. I work out all the time. Even when the doctors were telling me, the first doctor that I went and saw, he was in the urgent care. I went to an urgent care.
Yeah.
And he immediately knew right off the bat. I went and visited him on a break. I was still under 26, so I was on my parents' insurance. I went home. I went and visited him. It was like during the holidays. He's like, do you want me to give you my opinion, what I think it is? I can't diagnose you or anything like that, but you have cancer is what he told me. And we've ran no tests. We've ran no biopsy. He's just kind of felt my neck. I had a lump in my neck. My lymph node was swollen in my neck. He's just felt my neck and he's like, yeah, you have cancer. And no, I still didn't believe him. The doctor is telling me straight up, I think you have cancer. And I did not believe him at all. There's no way. I didn't feel like, looking back, I could understand some of the symptoms that were showing. Yeah. But I was like, no way I have cancer. I've never had cancer before, so I don't even know what that feels like.
You're like, wait a second, what?
So there's absolutely no way in my mind that I could believe that I could have cancer.
Yeah.
And it's something that it's out of your control. And like you said, you can take that and you can choose to do what you want with it. And I remember an extremely pivotal point for not only myself, but for my dad, and he always talks about this, is like, because he asked me, my parents were really concerned. Yeah. I'm 19 years old.
Totally.
My parents are seeing me have, I don't think they haven't had cancer. I don't know who they know have had cancer, but you hear cancer, it's scary for everybody.
Yes.
Right? Especially my parents that probably care about me more than anybody in the world. Mm-hmm. Right? And so he asked me, like, how are you feeling? What do you think? He just told you have cancer. I think this was like once we were actually diagnosed, like we did the biopsy, we were actually diagnosed, like, yeah, you have cancer. We're going to have to figure this out.
Wow.
And he asked me, I was like, I don't know what this is, but we just have to beat this. Yeah. And thank God, similar to, like I read that you were already donating to people and dancing for people with cancer before you even got cancer, right? Yes. And so, like, similar to you, I felt like I was already prepared for this. Yes. I felt like I had done enough, like, mindset stuff. And
You're an athlete too. I mean,
I'm an athlete, so I'm a very competitive person. I'm a very competitive.
Do hard things.
I am trying to win everything. Yeah. And everybody knows that. But I also had gotten into like a business world of personal development, like pretty recently, actually, before I had gotten cancer, like maybe like 2 years before. Wow. And I started reading personal development books. I started finding like the power of reading and the power of your mind, which I always knew since a little kid. I was always taught to like play basketball smart, right? Like it wasn't always just like your skills, how good your physical is. My basketball coach used to always tell me that 80% of the game is played on the 6-inch playing field between the ears. So he would always teach us like mental toughness. Yes. Right. So again, that was kind of preparing me for everything that I've gone through. And then I found like more of a passion for reading because I started actually reading stuff that I could apply to my own life. Yeah. And when I was a little kid, I would read like Magic Treehouse, like Harry Potter. I liked imagination, like fantasy kind of things. Awesome. Yeah. But then I also like noticed when I was little, I liked biographies of people that I really admired, like a Kobe Bryant biography or like a Michael Jordan or something like that. Yeah. That's what finally like got me to read, right? And then I got older. I kind of got out of reading. I was like, man, like, what's the point, And as I started, again, to read stuff that I could actually apply to my life, it was really like eye-opening because I could see the changes that I was actually making as I was actually learning things. Wow. And so, that was a pivotal moment that I was like, man, we just have to beat this. And again, it was just a choice. Mm-hmm. It was just a choice about how I could look at probably the craziest thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Yeah. Right. And like I said, it makes an extremely huge impact. And I always say this on all my episodes is I always tried to lead it by example. Yeah. With my attitude, for my parents, for myself to like make my self-belief. Like you said, you talk to yourself. I talk
Yeah.
to myself a lot.
Yeah.
It's actually, people probably think I'm kind of crazy, but I think it's important to have like good, positive self-talk, because if
Yes.
you're telling yourself negative things all the time, that's what you start to believe. And then
Amen.
that's what you'll start to see in your life.
Yeah.
And that's not cool.
No.
Right? Like you should love yourself. If you
Yes.
don't love yourself, then like no way can you love your kids,
Exactly.
your family, your
Yep.
friends. No way can you have loving relationships with anything, because
Yeah.
you don't even love yourself.
Yes.
And so that's a big deal to me. And in all the relationships I have in my life with everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I know you're a dancer.
Yeah.
Like I said,
I dance.
You
Yeah.
dance. I think you dance with Beyonce.
I
You
did.
have your own studio.
I do, yes.
Right?
Yep.
And all that.
Yeah.
So I also know, okay, you started dancing when you were like 10 years old. Your sister was a dance teacher.
Yeah. Oh, wow. You did your homework. Okay.
Yeah, okay, cool. So
Yes.
why dance,
Yeah.
right? Like, what about dance like gets you going? What is that?
Well, so I'm the seventh of 7 children. I'm Hawaiian Samoan, and all of my siblings freakishly talented. Like they are self-taught gymnasts, self-taught like piano players, singers, rappers, like the whole thing, right? And my sister, a dancer, a phenomenal dancer. And so when I was 10, we moved to Utah, and I didn't have anything, and I literally was just following my siblings around, right, as the baby of the family. So my parents sent me to dance with my sister, because it was free babysitting and free dance lessons, okay? And I loved it. But I think it just ignited something in me. It brought just so much happiness and fun and fulfillment to my life as a young child. I loved watching my sister dance. I loved watching her and my brother at their dance recitals, I loved performing. I grew a love and a passion for it. But it's something now, like I have to do it. Like it's not even a question. Like it has to be done. And I heard somebody talk about this the other day about passions and about passions bringing purpose, right? And it's something within you that's like, you don't care if you get paid for it. You don't even freaking care. Like you just have to do it. You have to give it. And it's become such a beautiful gift. Not only that I get to share with other people and help them feel a certain way or help them feel joy or vulnerability or their story, but also it's healing. It's been healing to my life and to my family's life and to the people around me. And right now I'm dancing for a little girl named Brielle, who is currently in hospice, who's fighting cancer. And it's every day I'm dancing for her. But the cool thing about it is that like so many other people are coming and dancing for her too. So, and people that aren't even dancers, and celebrities and people because dance is such an easy way to share joy. It's such an easy way to share happiness. I mean, you can't help but when you're dancing, you're like laughing, you're giggling, there's music on, the vibes are lit, like there's no other way. I've never seen somebody dance and be miserable, really. Even the person that hates dancing, or doesn't dance. It's something for me that I have to do. And it's the thing that I feel like it's a universal language to everybody. Like everybody feels joy when we're doing it. They feel happiness, they smile. And that's like medicine, right? Like, like the more positivity, the more energy and the more high vibes and energy that you bring, can you imagine what it's doing to your cells? Right? Like, I know that's so weird to think about, but like
weird.
As a cancer fighter, I'm like, there's no other way to explain the way that it makes me feel on the inside than when I'm not dancing.
Exactly.
Because when I don't have that fulfillment, I don't have that joy, I'm not living my purpose, I feel a little down. I feel a little yucky. I feel a little, the jealousy, the comparison, the dark, it starts to seep in, right? And then you think of like yourselves, right? Like it's such an amazing tool that I feel like I'm grateful, and I feel like it's a gift, and it's a gift that God's given me to be able to help other people in their journey, of what they're going through too. So
dancing and feeling good, like is like you said, like imagine what it's doing to your cells and how you're feeling. I think the biggest thing is how are you feeling?
Yeah.
And people don't understand like what their feelings are actually are.
Yeah.
Right? In my mind, like when I'm feeling a certain way, like I'm always trying to feel good. I'm always trying to feel better.
Well, yeah.
Right. And that's awesome that like you have this thing, this dance, right? Like for me, that was always sports. I always wish I could dance. That's actually so cool. I always wish I could dance.
We'll have to dance after this. We're gonna do a TikTok.
Yeah, let's do a dance for sure. And I always thought it was so cool. I even right now I'll be on social, I'll like watch dance videos sometimes. I'll be like, or I'll watch your videos, right? You were dancing, like you said, you're dancing for Brielle.
Yeah.
I think the other day you had like 200 people behind you dancing.
I did.
Like you guys are all dancing, you know what I'm saying? So even we're just talking about it and we feel good about it.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? And that feeling feeling good is so underrated. And the fact that like you have a purpose in your life also is something really big. That's kind of what cancer did for me. Was like, I always say it gave me purpose.
Oh, totally.
It gave me purpose. It gave me a way to share my story and try to inspire and help people. And I've always been taught and thought that like the best way to be successful in life is to help as many people as possible, to actually provide value.
Yes.
And bring value to as many people as possible. And that's why I did the podcast, because I was like, okay, this is the easiest way for me to try and reach the most people. Is by just like sharing my story, sharing other people's stories, and just like this is the most streamlined way that I can impact the most people right now. This is the best I can do right now.
Well, and it's bringing you purpose. Like you feel good doing it, right?
Exactly.
Like this makes you happy. Like it brings you joy, and therefore it's going to make you want to do it longer.
Yes. Exactly.
Does that make sense? Like I was telling these kids the other day when I was speaking, I was like, what brings you joy? Is it basketball? Is it soccer? Is it lifting? Is it horseback riding? Singing? Whatever it is, do more of it.
Do that.
And serve with it. It doesn't have to be something. I do believe that we've been given talents to serve and to help one another and to uplift each other. I mean, I believe that God wants us to be happy. He doesn't want us just to endure, but he wants us to enjoy life. It's a gift. And the way we do that is through the talents and the gifts that he's given us and to share them.
Right.
And to help each other, right? Like, and it makes you feel fulfilled. It makes you have a purpose. It makes you feel like, oh my gosh, I want to do that again. Oh my, I want to hear more stories. I want to share more people. And that helps you to have a purpose. Right. And helps you. And in return, you're healing too.
Exactly.
Crazy how it's like, it's almost, I always call it like a buy one, get one free. You know what I mean? Like, like service is such a buy one, get one free. It's such a win-win for both ends, for everybody that get to be able to be a part of it.
Yeah, and I like what you say. Oh, win-wins. I like to be in win-win situations.
Exactly. Yes.
Right. Like,
amen.
I should be in a situation
everybody
where
gets to.
Everybody can win. It's not like this big competition. Like if I win, you lose. Or if you lose, I win. It's not like that. That's not how the world works.
No.
We can all win. There's more than enough abundance in the world for everybody to win. If you think that is the case, right? And I understand maybe that's not everybody's thought process, but like the world is continuing to expand.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
People are coming up with new ideas, new technology. Stuff is happening faster and faster every single day.
Yeah.
Everybody can win.
Well, I love what you said about business. You were talking about business earlier, and I heard something really, really awesome the other day from, I think it was Lewis. He's awesome. He shares a lot of great things, but he was on another podcast. And he had mentioned about business, about being successful in business. And he said, the number one thing that you need to start doing is looking for a way to serve.
Yeah.
Honestly. And it was like, I mean, he's a billionaire, right? Like this guy that's very, very, very successful. And that was his first thing he said was look for a way to give back and to serve. Once it becomes about other people, you will live in abundance.
Right.
Because it's within you.
Exactly.
And you will keep doing it. Because it's something that it's not monetary. It's not something that lasts a little bit, right? But it's something that gives you that fulfillment, that abundance that feels like, oh my gosh, this feels good. I want this forever, right? And you'll do it forever. And the more that we look for ways to serve and give back through our talents, right, that we've been given, I truly believe, and as a business owner myself, I've seen it be returned back. Because your first point of view was to be able to help somebody else.
Right.
That's it.
Like my goal with the podcast was, okay, I'm going to do 1,000 episodes.
Yeah.
Right. And my mindset behind that was if one person listens to every episode, I helped and impacted them in a positive way. I legit helped 1,000 people.
Yeah.
That was my only goal with this, right? Everybody wants to make money and get all these views, and that's great. I'm not saying that's not what I want.
Yes.
Absolutely not. But I'm saying the real purpose and the real goal behind this is to legit try to inspire people that like, hey, I beat cancer, right? Like that can be kind of scary for people.
Yeah.
I am doing great. I'm doing great. Look at me. You can overcome whatever challenge you have in your life.
Yep.
Whether that's work, school, finances, relationships, whatever that is, right? Like you can overcome, you can think positively about that.
Yes.
You can be grateful for what's happening to you.
Well, you're bringing so much hope.
Exactly.
Like seeing you now, like I didn't know you then, but like hearing your story, I love when people, especially, I mean, we have cancer in common, right? And I think a lot of the times we see people that are going through the fight in the thick of it, right? They're losing their hair, they have sores, they're hooked up to machines. We see a lot of that. And that's what people think of cancer, right? But to see somebody on the other end continuing to shine, continuing to show up, continuing to share the hope, that's the true fight right there. Because that's hard. Yeah. I mean, you're still going through like the mental, the trauma, all the things that you're, still battling. But that's where the hope comes in for people to see you now and be like, dang, like he was there and now he's doing this and now he's doing, holy crap, like I can do that. I want to be that too. Right? Exactly. And so I think you showing up the way that you are and the way that you're doing your podcast, the way that you're sharing stories, the way that you're inspiring and continuing to go forward with your mission is what's bringing the true hope. And I hope you know that.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah.
It's just for people to be able to see the other side.
Yeah.
For people to be able to see that you can get because right, if people see us on the street, no way they assumed we had cancer, right? And there was a lot of times, even going through my whole cancer journey, right? Like I would get chemo and then I would go and play basketball, right? And I'd be in the gym. And
I would be getting chemo hooked up dancing
exactly.
People are like, she is crazy. She's getting a blood transfusion, she's getting chemo, and she's dancing right now.
Yeah.
But it's a choice, right?
It's a choice.
I remember sitting in my bed in my chair while I was hooked up when the first time I'm like, I don't have to lay here. Like I remember talking to my nurse, I'm like, do I have to actually like just lay here and sit still? And they're like, no, you don't have to. I'm like, well then dang, I'm gonna get up.
Right.
But it changed it for me then.
Yes. Yeah, I even remember one time I went and played too much basketball. I think it was like a day basketball. Or two after my chemo treatment. And so like the chemo is weird. Like the first day, the day of chemo treatment, you'd be good because right, like you had all these medications in you still, and like you were actually feeling pretty good, surprisingly, right on the day of. Then the second and third day were the worst days. So I think it was like the second or third day I went and played basketball. And I remember I was driving home from the gym and I legit had to pull over and like throw up. Like it was bad. Like I just like overexerted myself.
Yeah, overdid it, yeah.
But I remember sitting there like laughing. I'm like throwing up. I'm like, I call my mom like laughing, like, dude, I just threw up. Like I did way too much.
Yeah.
But I still felt good about what I had just done.
Yeah.
Because I had maybe like won a couple games. So I felt very normal. You know what I'm saying? Like I was out there like giving these people some work. You know what I'm saying?
That's amazing.
And I still felt good. And like I was throwing up. I was legit very sick. Like I overexerted myself. I needed to go home. I probably took like a 3-hour nap after that.
Good for you.
Right?
You needed that. As you should.
But I felt good. And like you said, it was a choice.
Yeah.
It was a choice and I felt good about it. And I was able to still find like happiness in that.
Yes.
I have a friend of mine. Her name is Bree. Shout out to Bree, amputee. She overcame cancer like 4 times.
Wow.
I've done an episode with her.
Wow.
And she asked me the other day, like, did you feel like this like during cancer? Like, how did you feel during cancer? And then like, obviously looking back, I'm always like, yeah, cancer was one of the best things that happened to me.
Yeah.
And she was like, how did you feel during and after, like retrospective? And I was like, it was some of the hardest times. Like the second transplant that I got was probably one of the worst times I ever had in my life. I was extremely negative. I was stuck in the hospital. So I, for some reason, thought like I would just breeze through this second transplant because I already had one before.
He's like, I've done this before.
Yo, I already had one before.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just do this again. I'm
And
gonna
go
get
back.
clear. I'm gonna be good. And it was way harder. It was way hard. It like smacked me on my face.
Oh yeah.
And so I was in the hospital and I had gone through everything. And I was just at the point where I needed to be released, right? You get to the positive days after transplant.
Yeah.
You need your blood cells to get to a certain level so that you can be out in public. You know, you have a caregiver. Obviously, you're still doing like a whole bunch of precautions and diets, but you can go home.
Yeah.
Right. And my goal, like I said, I'm super competitive. My goal was always to beat the top, like, however shortest amount somebody in the hospital had been in the hospital. My goal was always to beat that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm super competitive. I'm like, oh, it was 25 days. I'm gonna get out in 20 days. Like, right. And I had already done it too. So I'm like, yeah, man, I can do this. You know, and it came to the end and I just kept spiking a fever every morning or every day. My blood levels were fine.
Wow.
And they could not figure out why I just kept spiking a fever. And I was just getting so heated. I was so frustrated. And it was, I was in this extremely negative space in my mind. And like I said, I'm a super optimistic person. I know what the power of like what I'm thinking is doing to me. And I just cannot shake it. I knew I was being negative. I knew I was in like this hole. And I did not care. I was like leaning into it. Like,
You're like, I'm going to be here.
I was just leaning. I was probably like one of the meanest person I've ever been in my like adult life.
Wow.
And it was not like fun, but it was like the only way I could like express myself at the time.
Yeah.
And thank God for like my mom, my sister, my family, because they knew that like I was just going through a tough time.
They let you have your moment.
Yeah, because I was just freaking out over every little thing.
Yeah.
It was actually really bad. And I was actually kind of embarrassed looking back. But
it's all right. You've learned a lot.
But like I legit, like I felt so bad. And I was just trying so hard to get back to where I wanted to be. Like so hard. I was trying my hardest. And I just wanted to get out of the hospital. And it was actually bad because they ended up giving me some steroids to like kind of mask my fevers to get me out. And then I got out. And then as soon as I weaned off the steroids, the fever started spiking. And then they gave me like, once I got to the emergency room, they gave me these antibiotics, like a kind of like a full spectrum of antibiotics because they didn't really know what was going on or still causing my fevers. And it ended up giving me like, I think like C. diff or something like that. And I was readmitted into the hospital for another week. And then, so like it ended up being worse. I should have just been patient and just stayed in the hospital for like another however long until they figured it out. But I was just like freaking out basically and wanted to get out of the hospital. And so, yeah, that was like one of the toughest times by far. And like I said, I was aware of it.
Wow.
And was still.
So what helped you like snap out of like what changed your attitude and everything after that?
You know,
because obviously you didn't stay there. So
right, like it was reading. So I read this book. It's called Asking Is Given by Jerry and Esther Hicks, and it's like it's kind of spiritual.
Yeah.
But it's talking about how to feel good. And I'm meditating, I'm reading every day. Thank God I'm in a place where I don't have any responsibilities. So I don't have to take care of like bills or like adult responsibilities or anything like that. I can just simply focus on my health. But I got out of the hospital. That was one thing. I finally like got out of the hospital.
Yeah.
I'm at home. Like there's no place like home, right?
Yeah.
So I'm at home with my mom. I love my mom. I'm kind of like a mama's boy.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
I'm with my
should.
mom mainly. We're just kind of like hanging out, like doing our meals every day. It's real slow motion. She lives in a cul-de-sac. At the time, it's summer, so it's sunny outside. So, and I'm just taking it one day at a time. I'm finally like out and free, basically. And I think what really helped me was like looking forward to getting back to where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Because I had gone through something similar like that. And I had gone to 3 years past that mark where I was like really strong and really feeling good. And then it was like, oh, you got cancer again.
Wow.
Right. And so I knew what that looks like. I knew what I was capable of. I had gone through that process before. And so it was just exciting to start getting back to some of that stuff.
Yeah.
To starting to see, like I said, I was in the hospital with just my mom and I.
Yeah.
So I could see my dad now. I could see my sister
The
now.
little things. Yeah.
Right?
Just
I
those
could
little
see
things started
my
to.
uncle.
Yeah.
My neighbors would cook for me. Right? I love food. I love food.
You love it?
Like,
Wait, how much do you love food?
No,
Because
like,
your eyeballs got
yeah,
this big.
Like, I love food. So, right, I could eat normal foods again.
Yeah.
At one point, I was in the hospital. I'm on like a liquid diet, right?
Yeah,
So, like, I could eat foods again that I wanted to eat, like homemade, like good. I have this neighbor, Stuart. If you're watching this, man, Stuart is my neighbor for a long time. Every time I see him, he's so happy. But he manages like some grocery stores. So he would always get a whole bunch of food and he loved to cook.
Oh.
He loved to cook. And so he would cook me legit like meals, like brisket, like pot stickers,
Stuart,
like all
where
of,
you at, Stuart?
All of this. Stuart Kittyama, man. Like, yo, if you're watching this,
We're
love
hungry.
you. I love you. And he would bring me meals, man. And I was so happy.
Wow.
And so like some of the, just being able to look forward to
The little things.
but like a normal life.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, I do lives on like every Monday. I do like a Monday motivation.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, I hope you have something that you're looking forward to. Like I always have a trip planned.
Yeah.
I always have a trip planned. Maybe it's not out of the country. Maybe it's just to go home.
Yes.
Maybe like in last month, I went to Huntington Beach. I went to the beach for the weekend.
Yes.
Right? Like I always have a trip planned that I'm looking forward to, that I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Right? I always have something to look forward to. And that's, I think, now that I'm looking back, that's what really, helped me get out of that place, is like, oh man, I'm finally making some traction. Yeah. And I've grown up playing sports, right? So like I know a progression
Yes.
of like being here at this low level, working your way up, and kind of, I've not only had a lot of success like in my own rights as a little kid, but I've also like studied it and seen it and observed it in a lot of ways in my life. And so like I know like what that looks like and what that takes.
Yes.
Right? So that's a part of it too.
Yeah.
Is like understanding that like, oh, I am progressing. This is good. Because
Yes.
where am I going to be in 1 year, in 5 years, in 10 years, right? Like what is that going to look like?
Yeah.
And that also gets me excited too. And it's kind of hard. It's not easy to always think long term.
No.
It's not always easy to think long term. And I always think that's a big thing, to be able, like delayed gratification, whatever you want to say that is, but being able to kind of look a little bit further than where you're at and kind of see a bigger picture and understand, but then like also being present and being able to work hard right now, because like you said, right, regardless, you were going to have cancer at that time.
Yes.
Right. And I always say like, regardless, at the end of the night, I'm going to be tired. If I worked hard, if I did my best,
Yes.
if I did my worst, if I didn't try, if I quit, right?
You're gonna
no
be
matter
tired.
what, I'm going to be tired at the end of the night.
Yeah.
So I might as well just try my extreme hardest and do the best with everything I got right now.
Yes. I love that.
That's the best thing I can do.
I love that. Do you ever get asked if you're back to where you were before?
I do.
Do people ever ask you that? Like, because I feel like that's a big question that people ask me that all the time.
I do. And you know what's funny is I asked this. So I was going through my first bone marrow transplant and I was like, oh man, maybe I should go and like reach out to somebody that's done this before and see how they feel.
Yeah.
And one of the things I was like, man, like, do you still like, that was the question I asked. Did you get back to where you were at before?
Yeah.
He was like, no, you never get back. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to take that advice.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like my case.
Yeah.
I didn't really appreciate it. And it's no knock to him. I actually don't remember who he was.
Yeah.
But it just didn't feel good to me to be like, no, you have no hope. Like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Right. And so like, I did not take that advice. After the first transplant, I did get back to where I was. I was playing basketball. I'm super active right now. Like this past year, I snowboarded all season.
Yeah.
Like I'm the strongest I've ever been in my life.
I love that.
I'm absolutely stronger. I'm mentally, I know more than I've ever known. Like, so I don't even want to say I got back to where
You're
I'm at.
better.
I'm better.
Amen.
100%. I'm 100% better.
Amen.
In all these different ways that I never could have imagined.
Never.
And so maybe I'm not back in a sense of levels of things that I was doing, right? And a lot of those things like bring no value to me anymore, right?
Yep.
And are not important to me anymore. And that's kind of just a part of life and a part of growing up.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I definitely have gotten back though. I definitely, like I said, I had that checkup yesterday. I no longer have to get scans anymore.
Wow. That's
So
awesome.
that's super awesome.
Wow, that's awesome.
I've never been this long in remission as an adult since I was 19.
Dang.
Like, and I'm 31 now. So like this is like uncharted territory for me in my like adult life. And it's so exciting for me.
That is exciting.
It's so exciting. And like I said, yeah, I'm better.
Yep, better.
And a lot of the reasons, in a lot of ways, I'm better because I had cancer.
Yep.
And you know, I was talking to my buddy the other day because like a little bit more recently, I started taking a couple more things like more seriously.
Yeah.
I would want to say I started taking myself a little bit more seriously. And I was like, man, it's like I woke up. And kind of how we were talking about gratitude earlier, I'm seeing it's like God is walking with me in every part of my life now.
Yeah.
It's like I'm seeing and hearing him in every aspect and every day. Like I said, I'm living present. I'm more present. I'm not like super focused on like all my goals in the future and like concerned like, oh, well, what if this and
because
worrying.
you realize like tomorrow's really not promised.
It's not promised.
It can change like that.
Yes.
Like how it has, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so I've been living super present. I've been locked on. I've been really focused on like learning and like making sure I have gratitude and making sure I'm like feeding my mind. It's funny. I always like to say this, you know, people, like I said, I love to eat.
Yeah.
Right. So if I miss like breakfast or lunch or something, I'm like, oh man, I miss lunch.
You're all mad about it.
Right. But like nobody is ever like, oh man, I didn't read a book today. I didn't feed my mind today. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's part of like your diet, right? Your diet isn't just a physical thing, just what you're eating. It's like a mental thing.
Oh, totally.
Right? What are you watching every day?
Yep.
What are you reading? What kind of information are you taking in? Who are you letting into your energy?
Amen.
Right? That's part of your diet too. The people that are around you.
Yes.
Who are you letting have access?
Well, and I think when you get hit with something so like cancer, you start to realize that, right? Like, oh my gosh, like my energy is very sacred. Like this is very precious. Like my life is precious. My mental state is precious. My spirit is like everything becomes like a gift. Mm-hmm. That and with a gift you hold value to that, you know, and like what you said, that matters. That energy matters.
100%. Then I always say cancer is like war, and you need all the positive juju energy that you can get.
Yeah.
And then, right, like you start to understand when you go through something like cancer, who is in your corner.
Oh yeah.
Who will go to war with you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Who is there for you, and who was just there because it was convenient? Who was just there because you had it going on, but then now you look like you're in a tough spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's still there, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm always blessed for that.
Yeah.
To really understand whose energy I should have, who shows up for me.
Totally.
Right.
Well, I feel like I sit on another end too of that because, you know, all of my cancer journey was on social media. And even though I was already sharing on social media before with TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, when I got diagnosed, it was in the pandemic, right? The beginning, all the things. And my story kind of blew up. And for me, almost like opposite though, like it was like there. And then I feel like as a cancer patient and I've shared this a couple times through social media, but as you start to get healthy, as you grow your hair back, as you start to go back to work, as you start to live life again, maybe you're doing new things. You're not just in the hospital fighting for your life, but now you're living every day. You start to see that dwindle away too. And I think that that's been a big perspective shift for me too in this journey, is learning how to love people where they are, as they are,
Yes.
healthy or not.
Yes.
And it sounds weird, but sorry, I'm getting emotional about that. But like, I think that's been another big thing that I've learned, is that you never know what anybody is going through. It's not just cancer. It's not just the bald. It's not just the sores. It's not just the hooked up to the IV, but anybody that looks completely normal might be going through the toughest, darkest battle of their life.
Yes.
And to meet them where they are and to love them in that state of, hey, you're doing awesome. You're killing it. Wow, you look amazing today. You know, like, it's weird, but those little things, they matter. And it could really change somebody's day and actually make them feel like, man, I can go on another day. I was seen. And I think that's been a big shift for me with my cancer journey, and being on this side and continuing to show up, is seeing that, okay, I want to make people feel seen all the time. Not just when it's hard, but when it's hard, and then when it's really good. Be there on the other end being like, you did it. You got this. Yes, you're killing it. And I think that that's been a huge perspective shift for me on this side with this battle. And that, honestly, there's been so many life lessons. I call cancer a big like crash course to life. Like, God gave me an opportunity to go to college for, right? Like, free education. I mean, not really free, but like education that I would have never gotten. And I would have never changed my perspective. I would never change. And like you said earlier, I'm better because of it.
Yes.
I love more deeply. I love more unconditionally. I have more empathy. I'm more patient. I'm a little bit more understanding. You know, things that were a big deal before, who freaking cares? Like, to my kids, when that's one of my biggest things I say to my kids, it's not a big deal. Like, when before I would have been like, oh my gosh, clean it up. Oh my God, you know, but now I'm like, doesn't matter. You're alive. We're alive.
We're good.
We're good.
It's all good. My uncle's, it's all good.
Right?
He always says,
it's all good. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
We're alive. We're here. We get to be here.
Yeah.
You know, the ebbs and flows of life, they're going to happen, but we get to be together.
Exactly.
And that is the most important thing.
Right. And it's a big deal, right? Like, to simply just show up.
Oh,
to
amen.
Continue to consistency is a very underrated skill.
Oh my gosh.
Consistently showing up. Like, I'm that guy, right? Like, for all my family, I call all my aunts and uncles. I call my parents every day.
Yeah.
I call my sister. I call my cousins, right? For my friends, I'm that guy that shows up. Like, you can never say, like, I did not show up for you. Like, I believe, like, if I say I'm going to do something, right? Like, I'm going to do it. I always do what I say I'm going to do. Otherwise, I'm going to tell you, like, I can't do that.
Yeah, you're going to be
right? Like, I would never, I'm not going to be like, yo, I'm going to do this and then not. I don't feel like that is cool.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like it's very important to, like, hold you to your word. Right? They say, like, word is bond, whatever, however you want to say it. But you should do what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that is a very underrated skill, just simply doing what you said you were going to do, showing up for people over and over and over. Like I said, when it's hard, show up for them.
Yes.
When it's easy, show up for them.
Yes.
Right? Because people don't really understand, like, they won't remember the conversations.
No, but they'll remember the way that you made them feel.
How you made them feel.
Yeah.
You know? And that is bigger than anything, right? Like, I've had friends that I couldn't even say I was super close to them, right? But they reached out to me years later, like, hey, man, you were the only person that, you know, showed up for me during this period of my life.
Yeah.
And I simply was just there.
Yeah.
Right? And that they remember, I don't remember the conversations we had, what we were doing necessarily. They don't probably either. But they remember that I was just there with them.
Yeah.
And that I was the only one there with them. Right? And that made enough impact. Like you said, I don't know what they were going through.
Exactly.
If I was the only one there, what were they going through?
Yeah.
To where I was the only person there. And if I'm the only person there and I didn't know that, right? Like, as long as I just, like, show up in a positive light. Yeah. Like you said, I don't know what anybody is going through, but I can be nice. I can be a nice person.
Yep.
I've always been taught, I was raised to be a very respectful person.
Yeah.
Right? And like, right, just smile at people.
Just smile, just a wave, just a hi, just
Hi. I walk my
question.
dog
Yes.
every morning. And I wave to everybody.
Yes.
Every
I
car
love
that
that.
drives by, I wave
I
to them.
believe that. You know
I
what I mean?
legit, every person I walk by, I
Yeah.
say hi to. And people, my girlfriend would be like, well, not everybody wants to say hi. I'm like, well, okay, well, I said hi to them.
Well, they can choose to not say hi back to
That's
me.
what I'm saying. I'm like, well, I said hi to them. I smiled them. They know
Yes.
I showed up.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh, I-
They-
200%.
It has nothing to do with anybody else. It's just my choice.
Yes.
I showed up for those people in that moment presently, right
Yeah.
then and there. I said hi.
Yeah.
I gave you all that I could give in that moment right there.
Yep.
I gave it to you.
Well, it's so funny. My mom, when she was alive, she used to always say, smile with your teeth. You know,
Yeah.
smile with your teeth. And I was so insecure about my teeth when I was little. You know, I'm like, smiling like this. And she's like, smile with your teeth. It makes you look happier. It makes you people want to talk to you. You look like and I never understood that until as I grew up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, it doesn't matter. Like,
It 100%
it makes you
matters.
more, approachable. Makes you look like you want people to talk to you. You're inviting, your spirit is open. And I always think of my mom. I mean, she's on the other side and her spirit is so strong, but it's always one of those things that she would just like smile with your teeth, say hi, ask a stranger, compliment somebody. That one compliment, you never know. That could be your best friend for the rest of forever. Like, you just never know the relationships that you're missing out on when you're not taking the time to be present and take that time for somebody else.
Yeah.
And my mom left me with a scripture before she passed away. It was the first time I was in the hospital was 31 days. And exactly a month later, I was getting ready to go home after my first treatment. I hadn't seen any of my family, nobody. And that morning, my mom would give me a scripture or a poem or something every morning over the phone. And that morning, she left me with a scripture, Matthew 6:21. And it was about laying up your treasures in heaven. And about, what are our true treasures here on earth that we get to take to heaven? It's each other. Mm-hmm. Our relationships, our family, that's it. Nothing else.
Right.
And I remember getting that scripture and just, at the time I was like, oh, that's nice, Mom. Oh, thanks, Mom, The next day, I was getting ready to go home. My husband walks into my hospital room. First thing he does, give me a hug. He gets a phone call. And he gives me the news, your mom just passed away in her sleep. The last scripture. That's not a coincidence.
It's not a coincidence.
That's a reminder. Tia B, you better remember what is the most important thing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Right? Like, that is it.
Yes.
Is the relationships we make in this world now, in this earthly life we get to get through our circumstances, helping other people, serving each other, showing kindness, because we get to take this with us when we leave. And that is it.
That's all.
So I think about every day that lives rent-free in my mind.
Yes.
Okay, how am I leaving people? How am I greeting people? How am I presenting myself? How am I leaving people better than I found them? Because when I see you in heaven, it's just me and you, buddy. Like, that's
all
it.
we
You know what
got.
I mean? Like, that's the connection that we get to take with us.
Yeah.
And I look at that as a gift to myself and to now every day, wherever I go, is a little piece of my mom. And that reminder that no matter how high, no matter how low, that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. That's definitely a big deal. And I didn't always think like that. Mm-hmm. But I do remember, so at one point I was flying back and forth every 2 weeks for my cancer treatments. I was going to school at UNLV here in Las Vegas, and I was going back and forth every 2 weeks. And at that point, I made it a point, I was flying so much, I made it a point to talk to whoever I was sitting by every time on the plane.
I love that,
I would try to make them my friends. And one time, I met this lady. I meet people all the time on the plane.
Yeah.
Because now I just
Talk to everybody.
I talk to everybody. So everybody's always like, oh, you're friends with everybody. You can be friends with anybody. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm actually, yeah. But I met this lady. Her name was like Lisa Marie Carter. She's still my friend on Facebook.
Oh, I love that.
And she said a prayer for me. She was like, oh, wow. She does like network marketing or something randomly. And so we talked. She was like, I'm going to say a prayer for you. And when I share this on social media, you're going to get all this gratitude. So many people, so many comments, and all these likes, and everybody is going to send good juju to you.
Yeah.
And she did exactly what she said she was going to do. And I remember when we sat there and prayed, it was like I got chills. And I kind of, at some points, kind of like, I would say, lost touch with like my relationship with God.
Yeah.
But like after that moment, like it was very clear and apparent. It was felt.
Yeah.
Like I got chills, and we're just sitting there. She's just saying a prayer, but she legit like believes and like has so much faith in what she's telling me and what we're praying about.
Yeah.
And it was just like this crazy surreal moment on the plane. It's just her and I. We're just everybody's doing normal things, right? Her and I are legit just on the plane, just praying about like my good health.
Wow.
And that I'm gonna get better. And when I got off the plane, she posted about it, and all these random people were like, "Oh, prayers, good luck."
I love that.
And it
Yeah.
was such an impactful moment, but it was because I just sat there and talked to a random
Took
person
that
on the
time.
plane.
Yeah.
And I said hi, and I smiled with my teeth. And, you know,
Yes.
and I was a nice person, and she was like, "Cool, I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna try and help you." Right. And like,
Yeah.
you don't have that opportunity if you don't just like get past the weird fear of like talking to strangers. Right. And it's
Yeah.
so hard in today's world.
It
You
is
go
hard.
to an airport. I think I was sitting in like a lab waiting room the other day, and I was sitting there next to this dude, and I said, "Hey man, it's crazy. Everybody else in the room is on their phones right now except for you and I." And it was at least 20 people in the room.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was looking around. It's silent. Nobody's talking to anybody. It's just dead. It's like an awkward silence. And I'm just sitting here like, okay, waiting. Is anybody going to say a word? Do you guys know how to have a conversation?
Yeah.
Maybe they don't. I don't know. It's not my business.
Yeah.
But the point is they were just, everybody is so locked into their phones, into
Yeah.
technology, and it consumes you. It takes over people's lives.
Yes.
And people don't have simple conversations like this.
No.
When do people take an hour to just have a conversation? When do
know.
you put down your phone, put down the iPad,
Yeah.
and have a conversation with your kid?
Yeah.
Right? People, little kids know how to work YouTube better than me.
Amen.
They know how to work. I am so surprised when I see a 2-year-old that cannot
That's like,
talk.
tee, 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 tee,
They
tee.
cannot talk, and they can scroll and navigate YouTube on their phone.
I know.
And it's like, that is their language.
Yeah.
They're not learning English and conversations. They didn't learn how to write cursive.
Yeah.
They learned how to use YouTube.
Yep.
And sit there and be stuck to a screen.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. And we were just raised different.
Yes, we
right?
were.
Like I didn't have a cell phone until I was in like 6th
Yeah.
grade. And then it's all new, right? And
Yep.
and you had video game. I had a Sega Genesis when I was a little kid, and we played after I was outside running around until the streetlights came on or whatever, until I could not be outside anymore and I had to come inside.
It was dark outside.
Now
Yeah.
I can watch a movie
I
or
know.
play a video game or do something like that
Yeah.
now I can sit and kind of, that was like my relaxing.
Yeah.
But that was not like what I was spending the majority of my time. That's not what was keeping me distracted.
Yeah.
What was keeping me distracted was like making games up. Running around and playing
Being
tag,
creative,
being
using your
creative,
imagination.
using your
Yeah,
imagination,
playing
which
and-
is so underrated.
Yeah,
Adults
it
do not
is.
use their imagination
No.
at all.
No,
you're
no.
you're a choreographer, right?
Yes,
so you
I love
you
it.
make up dances.
I love
You get what
creating.
you're creating.
That's like I have to create.
You have to
Yes.
create.
Whether,
and I think
yeah.
it's super important, even if it's not your job. Like I'm online, so
Yeah.
I'm creating ads
Yes.
and marketing. Right. But like, even if your job is not to create, you should be doing something to
Yes.
create. You should be like cooking,
Yep.
right? Painting, doing something with your hands. I don't know what that is. Sewing,
Yep.
whatever, creating something, drawing. I used to like to do Legos.
Oh,
all the
my
time
kids
when I
love
was a little
Legos. My
kid.
boys love Legos.
Yeah. Put a Lego
Yeah.
set together.
Yes.
Right. Whatever that is.
Yeah.
Create something. Use because if you don't use it, you lose it.
You lose it.
right?
Yep.
So then you have no imagination. Now you can't think for yourself. Now you're not creative.
Yeah.
Now you're controlled. Now life is thinking for you.
Well, it's funny because my boys, I don't know if you know this, but my kids don't have cell phones and they don't have screens. And I know on the internet, I'm a mean mom. We're mean parents, but I've explained it like this. And even to my boys, my kid's going to be 17 and he doesn't have a phone. And I told him, I said, Major, I'm giving you the gift of a childhood. You will never get this again.
And you got skills. You got skills that other kids
That kid,
do not have.
he's going to be a sophomore. He has 8 offers.
Yes.
He's focused.
He's locked in.
He's locked in. Like, and they get, my boys get it. We don't, it's not even a subject like asking for a phone. Like, it's not even a thing. But when we had to talk, obviously we have to talk about this because all their other friends have phones, as they've been growing up. And after we've explained it to them like that, my 2 boys, they're going to be, one's 15, one's going to be 17 this year. And they're just like, we get it.
We get it now.
We get it. They go out with their, they go out with their friends. They see, they're, on their own, they're getting it. Yeah. And they understand that, that childhood moment is so like precious. And that gift to play, that gift to just go out and play football on the street, that gift to have no responsibility right now. You know what I mean? Like, for me as a parent, I'm like, be a kid as long as you can.
Yes.
Live that childhood spirit as long as you can.
Yes.
Because once you get that phone, you're gonna have to grow up, and it's gonna be really fast.
Right.
And it's gonna happen. Yes. Right? It's gonna happen. So but it's been interesting to like raise kids in this day and age, right? As a mom now, because that is what it is. But to be looked at right now is like, oh my gosh, you're so mean. Well, you're on social media. Yeah, but I'm also 40.
Yes. Exactly.
And it's hard for me. So can you imagine it being hard for me and then hard for my 16-year-old, right?
Exactly.
Like, so I think as a parent, it's one thing these days to try to like give your kid, think of it as giving your kid the gift of a childhood. How cool is it to run around in the streets and to play kick the can, to play,
Yes.
tag and fugitive and have all these memories. And yeah, you're going to have to ask to use the phone.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're gonna have to talk to people,
Yes,
right? Like,
exactly.
You're gonna have to learn how to speak.
Right.
Hey, bro, can I go ask your mom if I can get a ride home?
Right.
Things that we grew up doing.
You did.
It's okay to do nowadays.
Right? Like, I grew up talking to adults.
Yeah.
Right? I was at the table.
That's
I
what
was
I'm
not
saying.
on my phone. I had to talk to
my
grandpa, my
Yes.
mom, my dad. I had to have a conversation with them.
We should, as parents, we need to, like, it's okay for your kids to do hard things. Actually, I asked my kids that the other day. I asked them, I shared this in a post, and I said, what's one piece of advice that you would give parents today? I honestly, honest to goodness, this was not scripted. I didn't tell them. It never is at our house. I mean, if you know, you know. And my boys, both of them said, well, one of them said, let your kids do hard things. The other one said, don't be a snowplow parent. I don't even know what a snowplow parent is, but apparently it's don't do everything for your kid.
Don't just let your kids run you.
And I was like, and I had to learn, I was like, what legend? What's that even mean? And he had to explain that to me. But I was like, wow, like how rad is that to think like that's what you want parents to hear?
Yes.
Because they're seeing it, right? They see it in school. They see it in sports. They see the outcome.
Yes.
So, but it was really cool to hear that from my boys, and then to be able to hopefully, let parents know that it's okay for your kids to do hard things.
Yes.
It's okay to not give them everything.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, like let them earn stuff, let them work hard, because honestly, going back to why we're here, right? When they learn to work hard and do hard things, when it comes to that opportunity, like cancer, they're going to be like, let's freaking go.
They're prepared.
I was born for this.
I was ready for this.
Let's go.
I was prepared for
Right?
this my whole life.
Right though? Like
Yes.
you think about that and you're like, the way you were brought up to do hard things and prepared you for your battle.
Yes, 100%. And I don't have kids yet, and I totally believe that, right?
Yeah.
Like no way your kids should run you. They don't know anything.
Yeah.
They're maybe not even half your age. They don't know anything. And people, I've seen parents, they're just I'm just letting them be kids. I'm just letting them express themselves.
But they need to be taught.
No matter what, they're going to express themselves.
Yeah, they
no
are.
No matter what, they're going to express
no
themselves.
matter what.
And you need to direct them. You need to funnel and channel them.
Well, that's why they're given
into their
parents.
places. That's why you're the parent.
That's why
you're the adult.
God gave you those children to help them and to teach them and to guide them. Yeah.
That's extremely important.
Yeah.
So going back, you had acute myeloid leukemia.
Yes.
Right? That's what
yes.
So explain to people, what is acute myeloid leukemia?
Well, when I first got the diagnosis, and I think I wrote my first post, I think I even spelt it wrong. I like said it wrong, but it's blood cancer, basically blood cancer, very, very aggressive. When you get diagnosed with AML, it's basically stage 4 right off the bat. I mean, and a lot of people, I was sick for like 7 months prior to my diagnosis. So a lot of people, when I share the story, they think, well, oh my gosh, your doctors, they didn't know what happened. Why didn't they catch it sooner? But you don't. Like with AML, your immune system shuts down, basically. Your white cells go crazy, and it happens within weeks. You get it? I mean, I probably got it the week before I was diagnosed. And when you get it, it's very fast, aggressive. Acute is aggressive. That's what acute means. Okay. So very aggressive, very fast. So when they diagnosed me on April 24, 2020, my doctor came over. He was a family friend of ours. He came over and he told my husband, he just said, bro, I don't think, like, I'm just going to warn you. I don't think we found it in time. The oncologist asked if your wife was in a coma because her blood smears look so bad that it looks like she's in a coma from the looks of her blood smears. And he said, just prepare for the worst. Like, we don't think she's going to make it through the weekend because of how aggressive it was. So I was admitted that day. So they gave me an hour to get to the hospital. I got there, the day I got there, they put in my port, they started bone marrow biopsies, they started treatment like ASAP. And it was a whirlwind, but it's a very, very aggressive. And it's funny because I'd never looked it up. I didn't look it up, like Google it, like, most people do. And like one of the first things that comes up after I Googled it, like after a couple months, was deadly. Yes. Like the survival rate is very, very, very low. Mm. So
that's insane. And so you had leukemia. It was COVID. I think you caught COVID.
I did get twice.
There was something else that you were going through at that time.
Yeah.
There was like 3 things.
Well, I got sick multiple times because your immune system gets shot to neutropenic. So I was 0 on like the whole time.
Yeah, you're getting ready for a bone marrow transplant right now.
Yeah, and I was 0, like I had no neutrophils at all. And but I got COVID twice, and then I lost my ability to walk and talk and do my fine motor skills were gone. So I had to do a lot of physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. I was on IV nutrition for a long time. I mean, I was getting infections, I had pneumonia.
Yeah, you had pneumonia.
Acute kidney failure. I mean,
kidney failure, bro. What the?
Yeah.
Like this is crazy.
Yeah, but I'm here now, so I'm so grateful. Yeah.
So what, like when you were at that point, what were you feeling? Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of points of feeling different things, but I think, for me, and I think anybody that goes through something like this, you're in that fight or flight mode, right? And when I first got diagnosed, it was a very concerning, like, am I gonna make it? Is this how I'm gonna die? And as Andy was dropping me off at the hospital, I remember asking him that question, and my husband looks at me straight in the eye. And you met my husband earlier, and if anybody follows us on social media, we're complete opposites. He's coach. He's a high school football coach, And so he looked at me.
He's legit. He's kind of scary.
He's kind of big. He's kind of scary. And he said, Tia, you're a bad A mother trucker. You better pick yourself up and go in there and fight and get back home.
Yeah.
And basically gave me no option, right?
Yes.
So from that point on, changed my mindset. And from that point on, it was like, let's freaking go.
Let's do it.
And through that moment, because I was by myself throughout that year, that whole time in the hospital. So I had my moments of feeling scared, but it was those words and that strength. That was that reminder of, no, like, you're just going to do what you got to do, and you're going to keep going and keep putting one foot in front of the other until you make it out of here.
Yes. That's inspirational. That's crazy. That's really crazy. So we're running kind of out of time here.
Love it.
We could talk about this for days. So the last question I want to ask you is, what is the best advice that you've ever gotten from somebody in your life?
Just my cancer journey, or just best advice, period?
Just in general.
Okay. The best advice actually that I've ever been given, wow, this is weird, but when I was 21 years old, actually, I was being managed by Britney Spears' dad, Jamie Spears. And he pulled me aside and he said, Tia, whatever your faith is, Whatever you believe in, I don't even know what it is, but whatever it is, don't lose it. He said, whatever you do, just stay close to that. And for me, it sounds kind of weird coming from someone, but I feel like that advice has been given to me from a lot of people, but so crazy that it was from that particular person in that time. Because after that, I got married, my life went after that. And everything happened. And I feel like staying close to my faith and staying close to my Heavenly Father has been my crutch, has been what's held me up, has been what and I truly believe that we need to be in a leaning position onto Him so He can know that we're there, we're choosing Him, and He will continue to carry us through whatever we go through, no matter what. I believe that. Yeah. And whatever your higher power, whatever you believe in, whatever your higher power, whatever your light, wherever your light comes from, lean into that.
Yes.
And stay true to that, because that's what's going to carry you through the hardest moments of your life.
Yes. I love that. I believe that a lot more probably recently than maybe in the past. Yeah. And I feel it. I love like that clip, that interview with Kobe Bryant when he's like, and he was like, well, did you always know that? He was like, God is great.
Yeah.
God is great. When you have that cross that you can't pick up.
No.
And He picks up that cross and you and carries you.
Oh, yeah.
That's when you know.
That's when you know.
That's
it's true.
When you know.
It's true. And I was raised in like a religious family, in a Christian family, but I've had my moments of doing this, right? Like we all have. It's normal. But I feel like that, just having that foundation, and I tell parents this all the time, like give your kids a foundation, because even if they do this, they'll remember what it felt like to have this.
Yes.
That rock.
Yeah. He's always there.
Yeah.
He's always there, no matter what, no matter where you've gone. So that's all we have today on this episode of Beast vs. Zombie.
Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Thank you so much.
I loved it. Yes.
Tell everybody where they can find you.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at the Tia B Stokes. It's pretty easy across the board. Come dance with me and live in remission with me. Honestly, right now it's like rejoicing in the beautiful gift of life every single day.
Yes. So go check out Tia. Millions of followers on IG and TikTok. She's dancing. Man, it's so fun. I'm always tuning in with her. Go check out the website, BeastvsZombie.com. Get all your merch. 10% of all proceeds goes to cancer research and cancer awareness. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Be a beast.
Yes. Love it.